It's Tuesday, the 12th of December, 2023. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's get going. Story number 1, the federal government has unveiled a 10-year migration strategy, including the halving of the annual intake and tougher tests for overseas students wanting to study in Australia.
The government says there are 5 key objectives for its migration strategy, which include raising living standards for Australians, ensuring good working conditions and strengthening international relationships. It will introduce a new visa, the Skills in Demand visa, that will replace the existing temporary skill shortage visa. It also outlines 3 pathways to a longer 4-year visa. 1, the Specialist Skills visa. It aims at attracting highly skilled workers from sectors such as technology and energy. The second is core skills to meet workforce needs with a simpler, regularly updated occupation list to be developed over time. The idea is that reflects the job market in Australia. The third is for an essential skills pathway with a labour shortage focus for those on lower incomes. The government believes the new pathways will add about $3.5 billion to the budget's bottom line over the next 10 years. The new migration strategy will also insist students pass a stronger English language test and will require them to prove they are genuine students before they enter the country, while making it harder for them to stay if they don't find jobs that help fix the nation's skills shortage.
Just quickly, Sean, what's the migration intake forecast to be?
Well, it's 510,000 last financial year. That was very, very high. It's forecast to fall to more normal levels, down to 375,000 this financial year, 250,000 in 2025. The government says without the new policies, migration levels would have been much higher than that. Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill said the strategy is to bring migration numbers back to normal, something that has already started happening, she says.
Okay, on to story number 2 and the deal that everyone's talking about at the moment, Sean. Chemist Warehouse Group and Sigma Healthcare will merge and create an $8.8 billion company listed on the ASX in a deal which brings the wholesaling and retailing of pharmaceuticals together.
The new company will be around the same size as Endeavour Group and Treasury Wine Estates, assuming it gets regulatory approval, and be around the 60th largest company on the bourse. The long-mooted merger was announced officially yesterday. It will be one of the biggest deals of the year. It will bring Sigma's wholesale supply of medicines into the big box chain's 600-store network. After the merger, the Chemist Warehouse shareholders will own nearly 86% of the combined group. Now, Chemist Warehouse is a retail powerhouse in the sector. It generates about 70% of sales from front-of-shop items such as sunscreen, toothbrushes and makeup, with about 30% from drug dispensary. The average community pharmacy, it's sort of the opposite. It's about 70-30, so about 70% from drug dispensary, 30% from front-of-shop items. Sigma's board told shareholders to back the deal, saying it represents a significant and compelling opportunity, which is expected to create material value for Sigma shareholders.
Story number 3, JB Hi-Fi has been accused of selling customers worthless extended warranties for more than a decade in a landmark class action that could act as a test case for Australian retailers.
Law firm Morris Blackburn lodged the class action in the Victorian Supreme Court late last week, describing it as the first of its kind in Australia, alleging JB Hi-Fi's extended warranties were of little or no value because customers already held the same rights for free under Australian consumer law, according to a report in The Australian. The extended warranties, labelled extended care plans or extra care plans by the retailer, were offered to customers when they purchased consumer electronics, home appliances, home entertainment and other products. Compensation is being claimed for all customers who bought an extended warranty product from JB Hi-Fi between 1 January 2011 and 8 December 2023.
Sean, I know you're very excited about this next one. Story number 4, the federal government's mid-year economic review. MyEFO, I think it's called. Everyone loves an acronym in government, don't they? It's just...
They do.
Now, it's due out tomorrow. I know you'll have a sleepless night tonight with excitement. It looks like the government will be on the hook for about $80 billion in extra borrowing costs.
And that's thanks to much higher interest rates. The good news is that higher commodity export prices and a booming jobs market will drive a massive jump in tax revenue. The net effect means net debt is rising but will peak at a lower level than previously forecast. Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers said higher interest rates are hurting households and they are hurting the budget as well. After reporting a $22.1 billion surplus for the last financial year, which was the first in 15 years, Dr. Chalmers flagged that the rolling series of historic tax revenue upgrades had continued into this financial year. He didn't quite say, though, that there's another surplus in sight. The May budget forecast a $13.9 billion deficit for this financial year. Reckon it will be better than that.
Last one, story number 5, Donald Trump would win the US presidency in a race against incumbent Joe Biden. A new poll has revealed as the president's approval rating reached a new low in the wake of his unwavering support for Israel and its war against Hamas.
The poll is the first by the Wall Street Journal to give Trump the lead in a head-to-head contest with Biden. It put Trump at 47%, Biden at 43%. Biden's satisfaction rating also plunged to a record low of just 37%. Over the weekend, Minnesota Representative Dean Phillips, who's challenging Biden for the Democratic nomination, warned that Trump would win the election unless his party puts up a fresh face, according to the Telegraph of London. Among disaffected Democrats, 55% said the Biden administration's policies had hurt them personally, and despite unemployment being at its lowest level in nearly 60 years, 2/3 of respondents said the economy had worsened over the past 2 years.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Tuesday, the 12th of December, 2023. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed Business News, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.